What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video is not going to be very long, but I just thought that, like, with all the current world events going on and all the random ass, bullshit that is out on the open market, like, we might as well do this video because, like, I have people ask me all the time why. This coffee is good, dog. So, this video is probably going to be demonetized, so if you guys want to like and subscribe so, we can keep our followers up. This video might piss some people off, I don't know. People can't take jokes anymore, but on a serious note, this video is literally about why I chose to get vaccinated. Like, I'm a realistic person. I'm not really closed-minded. Like, I'm not really logical. Like, I'm definitely probably more science-based than anybody, but except an actual scientist, which I'll get to that in a minute. But, like, for me, I'm just I'm risk versus reward. If you can show me that I can take something that's going to give me a benefit, and that benefit, in my point of view, is better than the risk of taking whatever it is, like, I'm going to do it. Like, there was a massive study done about Olympic athletes saying, hey, if you guys want to take PEDs and you might die in 5 years, but you'll win a fucking gold medal, would you do it? And obviously they said yes. Like, I mean, that's just a common human mind frame, of winners, So for me, I guess I can show most of this. I don't really have any crazy information on here, but, if you guys can see that, I have had both shots of the Pfizer vaccine. So, at the time, I was going on some random Tinder dates. I've literally worked through the whole pandemic. Haven't had COVID. And I mean, I deal with people every day. Like, I run a retail supplement store. So, like, I mean, I handle cash. I handle people's dirty titty money. Like, all that shit every day. I have people come in that are fucking sick, have COVID, had COVID, knew somebody that had it, coming in for somebody's parents. None of that really, I didn't really care. I keep probably one of the cleanest stores you'll ever walk into. And then also, when we had to enforce a mask policy, we did. People hated that shit, but you know what? Deal with it. Stop being a bitch. But I'm very open-minded. Like, for me at the time, like I said, I was going on some Tinder dates, and I ended up going on a few dates with a girl that was a MD, PhD from Birmingham. Super nice individual. I have a lot of respect for her, and she's strictly science-based, and she also had an autoimmune issue at the time that we were nothing exclusive. We just, went to go eat, stuff like that, watch some anime, whatever, had a good time. And she didn't even care that I wasn't vaccinated, but she did want me to get vaccinated. But for me, my choice as far as getting my first shot was because whether or not that lasted, or if it didn't last, or if it was just a fling, like, I would have felt like an asshole if I would have got somebody sick that had an autoimmune issue, and then, like, that could jeopardize her health as an individual. That's the reason that I got vaccinated. Not because I'm scared of getting sick. I've never had the fucking flu. I remember my dad skinning a deer eating a sandwich growing up. When I tore stuff in my knee, my dad told me that the shit would grow back. I was probably last of the 90s kids that didn't get raised like a pussy. Like, I've had to pick my own switches. I've been backhanded before. I've had my ass beat. And so for me, I chose to get the vaccine. For one, when you go on a date with a scientist and you say, hey, I'm thinking about getting the Pfizer vaccine, and she sends you their clinical study and she had a non-politic viewpoint. She was like, look, I'm not going to bullshit you. It's 60% effective at best for this amount of time. She was like, I do highly recommend you get it. If you don't, that's okay. We live in a world where politics runs everything, except for my channel. I don't give a fuck. As you can tell, I have a flag in the background. I'm from Alabama. We don't give a shit. Y'all do y'all's Washington bullshit. I'm a capitalist. I'm just going to figure out how I can make money in our fucked up world. That's my job, you know. And for me, I didn't want to get her sick. And that was enough of a return that, like, you know, how shitty would I have felt if I would get somebody sick that had an autoimmune issue, like that I was actually seeing had like you know, whatever kind of relationship we had, like at the time. So it's like, out of respect for her is why I got vaccinated. And, you know, even though I no longer talk to her anymore or anything like that, you know, I'm glad that I got vaccinated, because now looking back at it, I work with people every day. Like, even if the vaccine works or if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I'm vaccinated. I can go to work, do my daily stuff. You know, I work in the corporate setting, so for me, our company policy is that if I'm vaccinated, I no longer have to wear a mask. That was worth me getting vaccinated, because I hate that shit. But, you know, if a business asks me to wear a mask, then I'll fucking wear one. Like, it's not, you know, I don't feel it's an infringement on my freedom, because I pay my taxes, I get my tax returns, you know, the IRS doesn't fuck with me because I don't fuck with them. You know, if a business wants me to wear a mask in their establishment, that's their right, just like it's my right not to go buy shit from that business. Like, if I had a problem with it, I would just go to another business that didn't make me wear a mask, but I don't. You know, I went on several dates where they were like, hey, did you bring a mask? And I'm like, no. Well, you know, you're in Democratic kind of, you know, town, you might want to get a mask, you know. And so I wore a mask, and if I didn't have to, I didn't, you know, or if it didn't make sense, you know. I don't really care about, like, you know, I don't care about any of that shit. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm 28 years old, I'm a fucking adult. You know, I can put my own pants on, I can put a mask on or take it off. Who gives a shit? But anyway, I just chose to get vaccinated because I wouldn't want to put somebody that I cared's health in a predicament. Like, I'd have felt like an asshole. Like, if she'd have got sick and died, like, hypothetically, like, because I gave her COVID and I didn't even know I had it. Because, like, honest with you, I'll go to work with a cough. I went to work throwing up blood. Like, I went to work when I tore my calf. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I can't make money if I don't go to work, and bills require money to get paid. So it's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to work. You know, and for me, that was enough for me to get vaccinated. This video is not to tell you to take the jab or not take the jab. I don't care if you take the jab at all. I'm just giving you guys the reason why I took the jab. But funny story, you know, I have bought stuff from a company that Pfizer owned in the past. You know, they're a sketchy pharmaceutical company. Who cares? Like, I mean, what corporation doesn't do sketchy shit? You know, I work for a private supplement company, and they do sketchy shit all the time, especially to their employees. I still have to go to work and get paid, you know. Most people on this channel know who I work for too. So, but like, guys, like, it's not a big deal. Like, we can agree. Like, I think my favorite part about that whole situation with when I got vaccinated was we ended up getting in a long discussion about over-the-counter supplements, because I'm a big supplement guy, and I definitely believe in diet, nutrition, health, and I believe you can control a lot of stuff through diet, nutrition, supplementation, and so on. You know, and my viewpoint coming from 10 plus years in the sports nutrition industry, and her viewpoint of coming from 10 or plus more years in the medical field, and as far as like just strictly science shit, clinical studies and stuff like that, we both agreed to disagree, but we did not, you know, completely dismantle each other's viewpoints. Eastern and Western medicine can work together. Take your fucking zinc, take your vitamin C, take your probiotics, whatever. But also just know you can't get vaccinated. Like, you have choices. Life's about choices. So it's like, make whatever best choice that you need to make for you or for somebody that you care about. And if you don't care about anybody, who cares? If you live in America, you know, land of the free, you know, home of the brave, all that kind of bullshit. So it's like, if you don't want to take the shot, don't fucking take it. If you want to, take it. I don't give a fuck. It's not, whatever you do necessarily does not impact me. You know, granted, you could get me sick, but I fucking doubt it. So like I don't have autoimmune issues. I have fucked up adrenal glands, high blood pressure, and stuff like that, and a list of lung problems that run in my family. But like I said, I've never had the flu. I've never had a flu shot. I'm not really going to consider this a flu shot, even though it is a vaccine. And I know COVID is kind of a type of flu, but like I don't really consider that a flu shot because like I took my two shots. I'm fully vaccinated. If I feel like it would benefit me to get a booster, I will. At the moment, with everything being so like in my industry, like product shortages, the world supply creatine shortage and all that, let somebody that needs that booster take it. Like I don't need it. So like if I feel like my health's in jeopardy, I'll take it. If not, I won't. For me, it's like I would rather somebody that has an autoimmune issue or if somebody really needs it to go take that vaccine. Like, go get your booster. Like, let somebody else have my booster. Like, if I need it, I'll get it. If not, it's just not up to me. That's just my mindset. It's like the reason I took the shot was because I felt like I needed to for her safety or for somebody else's safety, not my safety. I'm I'm 28. I've took way worse stuff than this vaccine. Like I have bought stuff in the past from pharmaceutical companies. I have took experimental peptides in the past. I took massive amounts of caffeine and ephedrine. I'm pretty positive that COVID could not live in my bloodstream from some of the shit that I took. It would probably get in my bloodstream and be like, the fuck is with this dude? No. I'm not a doctor. Don't take any kind of medical advice from me. I'm just giving you guys my honest, don't really give a fuck attitude of why I got vaccinated. Did I need to? Probably not. I mean, I have worked through the entire pandemic without getting sick. I could have probably got away with it. Did it hurt my health in any way? No. I've done way stupider shit. I mean, I've took up to 5 grams of caffeine a day in my past. Like, I'm not worried about taking a vaccine. I don't agree with mandated vaccines because I am a capitalist. Like, that's just my viewpoint. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm going to make logical decisions on what's going to benefit me the best as a person, as a business, as a company, as an individual, for my health. That's my viewpoint. I don't give a fuck about Democratic views. I don't give a fuck about Republican views. I am going to do what's best for me because at the end of the day, the only thing I can truly take care of is my own life, and I felt that the risk of taking the shot was more than I was going to get more of a reward by taking it. Let's just put it that way. Let's just keep it simple and sweet. Like, I mean, it's just one of those things to where it's like, all this shit's going on, company policies are coming down. Also, me working in a corporate setting, like, it wouldn't be surprising that they mandate us to get vaccines. I know several companies have done that. I do not agree with that, but you know what? You also have the option to go find a new job. You have an option to start a YouTube channel and work from home and make your own money. You don't necessarily have to work for those big corporate companies. Make your own goddamn corporate company, and then you don't have to do any of that kind of crazy mandated bullshit. You have options. Like, everybody wants to be like, oh, they're forcing this down our throat. They're forcing this down our throat. And they don't really realize that, like, go start your own fucking job. Go start your own business. Go work for a different company. Find a company that takes better care of their staff. Find a company that cares about their employees. And if you fucking can't, well, then there's a necessity for you to make that company. I get it that a lot of places are telling you that you can't travel. Like, I have friends of mine that live in Canada, and like, they can't go anywhere if they're not vaccinated. It just depends on what world, what environment, what realm that you're in. And your own personal viewpoint. Like, personally, if you feel that you don't need to get vaccinated, well, don't. Like, at the end of the day, nobody has the right to tell you what to do. But you just need to consider your health and everybody else's health. And take that for whatever it's worth, whether it's, I mean, there ain't really much to fucking tell you guys. It's just that, like, you take that whatever viewpoint you want. My viewpoint was, this chick's pretty chill. Like, I wouldn't want to get her sick, and I'm sure she wouldn't want to get me sick. So it's like, that's good enough for me. I don't give a shit. Like, I've ingested way worse stuff than a Pfizer vaccine. I did go with Pfizer. Like, they had the most street cred. I know you guys are like, they're a sketchy pharmaceutical company. What fucking pharmaceutical company is it fucking sketchy? Like, what part of that, like, do people not realize? It's 2022. Like, they have the most credibility. They have several medications that are FDA approved. Take that for whatever bullshit you want. I mean, they make fucking Viagra. You bodybuilders, I think they've made, like, equipoise in the past. You know, or EQ, Boulderon, whatever you want to fucking call it. You know, they have several drugs that they've made that has helped people. Like, why would I not take that vaccine? I know nothing about Moderna. I don't like Johnson & Johnson just simply for the fact that, like I said, I am a capitalist. And I lost money with their stocks, really to write off on my taxes. But, like, still... Like, I didn't make any money off their company, so it's like, why would I support them? You know, they didn't make Sleepy Dog no money. You know, so like Pfizer had the most credibility. You know, there's several smaller companies they own that I have owned some shares with. You know, so like for me, that was just a clear choice. Like I took stuff they made in the past, had no negative reactions. I personally know a lot of people that did get a lot of benefit from their vaccine. You know. Likewise, I know people that had reactions to it. At the end of the day, you guys have to be an adult. You have to make a choice for yourself and for your family and for your friends and for people you care about. You know, I'm not going to be the one to tell you to go fucking take that shot, and I ain't going to be the one to tell you not to take that shot. I'm just saying, do you be you and be the best version of you, and at the end of the day, as long as you can sleep, or you can rest easy with a clear conscience, you did the right choice. Like, it's not a stressful situation. You know, people take all of this, like, that's going on in the world as, like, a ton of negative. It's like, I'm 28. Like, what all have I been through? People are, oh, you're fucking millennial. Yeah, I'm a millennial raised by somebody in their fucking 70s. You know, like, I had to do a lot of stuff that most millennials didn't have to do growing up. Like, for one, I had to get a fucking job and make money. Like, you know, I was told to work every fucking day and to work all you can. Like, that's how I was raised. Like, likewise, like, with that kind of, you know, upbringing and stuff, it's just that, like, I don't have time for bullshit. Like, I don't have time for you to waste 30 minutes of my day telling me why I shouldn't have took a shot that I took. Likewise, I don't have 30 minutes a day to tell you guys to take a fucking jab. Like, who gives a shit? Like, if you want to take it, fucking take it. Like, if not, who gives a shit? Go on about your day, have a good fucking day, keep some positive energy. You know, I'm just saying that for my personal preference, I'm glad that I took it. I don't think Uncle Sam's tracking us. Uncle Sam doesn't give a fuck where Billy Joe is at 2:30 in the morning buying your Starbucks, or if Betty Sue's watching some hentai anime late at night. You know, do you make yourself proud? And dude, I hope that, like, if you guys watch this, like, y'all aren't one-minded. Like, trust me, I love a good conspiracy theory, and I love anything people send me about, like, oh, the fucking, you know, blood's clotting and this or this, and it's like, well, I've had my blood levels checked, I'm not clotting. Also, it's like, you know, part of me, when I took it, I was like, well, you know, back in the day, they would be like, hey, if you took so-and-so back in this, you're entitled for a lawsuit. So I was like, maybe that'll happen with this, you know, who cares? You know, I don't really care. Like, I feel like, for me, working with the public, you know, I deal with people every day, and I deal with people as young as 12 to, I think my oldest customer, I think he turned 98 last year. Hell, he took it. You know, he was like, it's like, I got like a year or two left to live. I was like, I don't give a shit. You know, which was funny because that was like the 2 days before I was going to take it. And we were kind of, you know, talking shit at my store when he came to get his multivitamin about whether or not I should get it or not. And he was like, why not? And he was like, you know, so like, it's just different for everybody. You make your own decisions and just be an adult about it. Don't be a Karen. Like, respect somebody's right to refuse to take something, but also respect the reason why they don't want to take it, or if they do want to take it. Like, that's just part of being an adult, and the world really needs more adults, to be honest with you. And, you know, I don't even really watch the news anymore unless it deals with stocks or sales, or I kind of have to and I kind of don't. I read a lot more articles and books now, but if it doesn't pertain to what I do in my home office, like if it doesn't pertain with like the stocks that I've invested, the crypto I've invested, you know, me selling stuff on eBay, my own personal therapy stuff that I'm having to go through, I don't give a shit about it. Like, it's not like I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, I don't care that like I need it to fly for when I don't ever fly. So it's just like, you just do what's best for you guys. You know, just know that Sleepy Dog Fitness is vaccinated. I'm caffeinated. And, yeah. And if you guys watch TikTok, you can finish the rest of that. But your boy is out.